Good evening, citizens, candidates, and community partners. Please find your seats and we'll get started. We want to welcome you to our 2026 Candidate Forum. My name is Andrea Heller, and I'm the President and CEO of the Lake Havasu Area Chamber of Commerce. I will be serving as your MC this evening. On behalf of our Chamber Board and partners, we want to welcome our candidates and thank them for taking the time to meet with us so that we can get to know them and the priorities they hold for the offices they're seeking this election season. I also want to thank every citizen who has joined us in person tonight or who is watching on Facebook or streaming online or on the radio. An informed citizenry is the very fabric of our democracy, so thank you for your commitment to being informed and the thoughtful citizens leading our community. I also want to thank the partners who make this event possible. This forum is a partnership between our chamber and our media partners to help our community stay informed and educated. Tonight we're joined by our partners at KNTR Radio Central, Steve Greeley and Tracy Greeley, and Marissa Bilecki helping us stream our content on the radio. Our questions, go ahead. We love them. Our questions this evening will also be moderated by Brandon Bowers of today's News-Herald and Paula Boy of KNTR Radio. This forum is being streamed online through the Lake Havasu Area Chamber through our actual Facebook event page. As well as the HavasuNews.com. There is no paywall on that as well, so if you have anybody asking, please let them know where to go. And then obviously it will be on Radio Central as well. So please tune into the broadcast. Before we get started, I'd like to welcome you and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance to get us started right. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I wanted to say play ball. Now it's time to get started. This forum is timed and will be adhering to strict procedures for candidate comments so we can stay on track. We have 4 sets of candidates joining us tonight. Our candidates for mayor, City Council, Superior Court Division 7, and Arizona Legislative District 30. Each set will be welcomed to stage and allowed for a brief 1-minute introduction, and we'll be using a timer to ensure fairness and accuracy. We'll ask our candidates to be respectful of each other, to keep comments specific to the questions shared, and to be ready to wrap up when the timer gives the cue. Just a note, we have our wonderful chamber crew in the very front. Go ahead and wave the little sign so they know what to look for. So if you're a candidate and you have about 15 seconds remaining with your question, they're going to hold a little sign to show you that you have about 15 seconds to wrap up your comments. And then Paul will ding, just to let you know that your time is up and we'll be moving on. Okay. Well, that's a little aggressive. Okay. So we'll begin with our candidates for mayor of Lake Havasu City. Please be welcome to the stage David Johnson and Mayor Cal Sheehy. Our writing candidate for mayor of Lake Havasu is not participating in the panel this evening, but he is hosting a booth tonight throughout the night, so please stop by and visit with him. And now turning it over to our moderators, Brandon Bowers from River City Newspapers and Paula Boy with KNTR Radio Central. Take it away, gentlemen.
Before we get started, can I ask that you guys do keep the mics on because they have about a 3-second warm-up. Thank you.
And also, all candidates, Dave, Mr. Mayor, keep the mic close like this. For me, I can pretty much talk like this, but for you guys, come in as close as you can until it feels uncomfortable, okay? And that's for all candidates. Thank you. We're trying to figure out who to start with. I did not bring a coin. How are we determining who goes first? Alphabetical order. Perfect. So J before S, right? So let's give Dave the first question. Brandon.
What specific actions would you support to strengthen Lake Havasu City's business climate, support existing small businesses, attract quality employers, and expand year-round economic opportunity?
Okay, so most people know I come from a pretty industrial background. I used to own a very successful machine shop that prototyped weapons of tomorrow. As far as strengthening the economy, we really just have to look towards industry. Weirdly enough, just the 4 months that I've been campaigning, I've already been approached by several very large manufacturing companies and independent companies that are wanting to come to Lake Havasu. I got a call this last Saturday when I was down dropping my kids off at SeaWorld from a guy named Mark Summers. He owns a company called Duncan Bolt. It is the largest infrastructure fastener company in the world. He called me and said, I want to set up a shop out there for distribution. I said, how many jobs is that? He said, 20. After an hour on the phone, he says, I think we're going to ditch Santa Fe Springs and come to Lake Havasu. What is the closest for health service? That's 100 plus jobs. If I'm not even in yet and these people are calling me, it's inevitable.
Mr. Mayor, 60 seconds to answer the question. You need it repeated? Okay.
Good evening, I'm Cal Sheehy, and I am running for mayor. Thank you all for being here today and for the opportunity to address economic development and diversification within our community. There's been a lot of work done on this front already, and we'll continue to do this work to create opportunities for job creation, for our businesses to prosper. We'll continue to work and convene with organizations like the Chamber of Commerce, the Partnership for Economic Development, and our other economic development partners so that we can bring together employers that want to relocate to Lake Havasu City and do business here in our community. Not only are we looking to attract businesses, but we also want to retain the current businesses we have. So how do we continue to provide workforce development opportunities? How do we continue to provide opportunities for the businesses that currently exist here to expand and to continue to retain the team members that they already have working here in Lake Havasu City? And one of the core areas to do that is to have a stable government where business feels very comfortable doing business with Lake Havasu City. And we'll continue to do that work. Thank you.
You know, we only do this every 2 years. So on that note, we forgot to do the introductions. So we got so excited to hear what you had to say about the issues, we forgot to have people tell you who you are. So let's do that. Let's start with Dave. If you can, 60 seconds for an introduction, please.
Well, 60 seconds is a pretty short introduction period. My name's Dave Johnson. I moved here roughly 16 years ago. I am being painted out as a California online, but I can tell you that I took my first steps in Parker almost 49 years ago. I've been coming to the river my entire life. You know, this is a pretty good sized crowd here. Every Wednesday we have a meet and greet, and I like to ask 2 questions to start off. How many people have lived here 6 years or more? Raise your hands. The vast majority of the room. How many people feel it's better now than it was 6 years ago? 25%? So, that's me, that's why I'm running for mayor. I live here. I think we've taken a wild turn, and we're kind of at a fork in the road here where we can go down a path where we can fix it and make Havasu again, or we can keep going down the same path that we've been going down for the last 6 years.
All right, thank you. Here's what I think our timekeepers down here, they get really interested in the content, so I keep a backup right here just in case. Mayor Cal Sheehy.
Again, my name is Cal Sheehy, and I'm the current mayor of Lake Havasu City. I'm a long-time Lake Havasu City resident. I've called Lake Havasu City home for over 30 years. My grandparents moved here in 1979. My mom decided we were done with Northern Michigan winters, and she moved us here my sophomore year of high school. I'm a graduate of Lake Havasu High School. I started working at London Bridge Resort as a housekeeper when I was 16 years old. I still work at London Bridge Resort today. I'm now the vice president and general manager. I've been involved in lots of different civic and economic organizations throughout Lake Havasu City. This is my home. This is my family's home. I am running for mayor so that we can continue to keep the Lake Havasu City that we all knew and grew up with, the same small town charm that we had. Lake Havasu City is such an amazing place, but the reason why we're such an amazing place is each one of you and all of the people that call Lake Havasu City home. We all do similar to Mr. McCulloch, roll up our sleeves, and we just get the job done. Whatever it takes to make Lake Havasu City that special place, and I'm asking for your vote on July 21st to continue to be your mayor. Thank you.
All right, question number 2, and we'll start with Mayor Cal Sheehy. What is your long-term vision for Lake Havasu as a tourism destination, and how do you want that identity to evolve while keeping the charm Lake Havasu residents love? Kind of what you just talked about.
Yeah, great question. So Lake Havasu City has long been known for tourism, all the way back with Mr. McCulloch when he was bringing folks here on a 3-day and 2-night stay to purchase property here. We've been a tourism destination for so many years. Oftentimes you talk about people from Lake Havasu City, you say, how long have you lived here? And it always starts with, I've lived here this long, but I've been visiting so much longer. So tourism to me is a way that we are able to import money into Lake Havasu City. It also is an avenue for economic development. So many people come here on vacation or visitation, and they go home and they say, you know what, we want to do business in Lake Havasu City. We want to move to Arizona, we want to be on the Colorado River, and they pack up their business and they move it here to Lake Havasu City, creating jobs and opportunity. We have certainly already evolved as a community. We now are a year-round tourism destination. Just a few decades ago, we had a summer season and a winter season, but now we have iconic world-class events every weekend throughout the entire cooler months. We are put on the map, and I would continue to see us developing this destination for the future.
Same question. Dave Johnson, would you like the question repeated? I almost did it. What is your long-term vision for Lake Havasu as a tourism destination, and how do you want that identity to evolve while keeping the charm Lake Havasu residents love? You have 60 seconds.
Okay, so the biggest draw of tourism here is a couple of different things. You have the London Bridge, which Robert McCulloch brought over. You have the lake, right? But as far as how people get here, we don't have any airlines. We don't have any air service here. So we are currently spending $1.6 million on Go Lake Havasu, $500,000 on PED. We can subsidize air service here with a turboprop, so we don't have to listen to the loud jets to get to a major hub. Now you have tourism coming in from everywhere. You have business development coming in. When you talk about the PED, you can say, come to Havasu all you want for CEOs, but they're going to say, how do I get there? And that conversation starts to end when they hear a 3-hour drive. So my long-term vision is to add air service to Lake Havasu. It'll be good for the doctors, it will be good for tourism, it will be good for business, and it will be good for us if we want to fly somewhere else out of here.
Next, we're talking about water. How should local leaders advocate for Colorado River water supply and regional planning at the state and multi-state level? And are we doing this every other? This is for Dave Johnson.
Okay, so we're finding ourselves in the middle of a bit of a state battle here. This is a state problem. This is not a mayoral problem, right? And you're going to hear tonight, well, I'm on the Mojave County Water Authority, which basically is a lobby group. That's all it is. They can lobby towards our state elected officials to try to get what they want. But if we elect the correct officials, then you don't have to have the lobby group, right? Effectively, if every one of us, if every one of us wrote an email to your state elected officials, you're officially more powerful than the Mojave County Water Authority. We're using less than half of our allocated, or just about half of our allocated water right now. There's a lot of money and a lot of fear in scaring people. But we are not even a drop in an oil tanker. If our lake goes down less than 5 feet, Tucson doesn't get water, Southern California doesn't get water, the lake's never going to be a mud pit. It's a scare tactic. We will be fine.
So when it comes to water, it obviously is so important to our community and to the future of Lake Havasu City. Water security is on the top of everyone's mind. We read about it every morning when we open up the newspaper. There's a news story about the Colorado River and the diminishing water conversation that we're having right now. I have been sitting at the table for the last 8 years talking about water issues and advocating for Lake Havasu City's water entitlements. I'll continue to do that if I'm fortunate enough to earn your trust to continue to serve as your mayor. There is a lot of complexities when it comes to Colorado River water. There's a lot of knowledge base that is necessary. It is a state issue. It's also an upper basin issue and a lower basin issue. And it's also a hydrology issue. So there's lots of different components, but to advocate for our water security and the water rights that Lake Havasu City is already invested in many decades ago is paramount to ensuring that we have water security. With me as your mayor, I'll ensure that we have water security into the future. Thank you.
We'll start with Mayor Kalshihi. Question 4, and you'll have 60 seconds to answer. What improvements would you like to see in the downtown district, and what role should the city play in driving those improvements?
In the downtown, we have a lot of changes that have occurred over the decades. We've seen a lot of new businesses open in that area, and businesses change over the years. Lake Havasu City just made a large investment with the Main Street Commons area, which is a downtown gathering place, drawing more people to the downtown area, which will further help us attract additional investment from private businesses in that area. The downtown area and Lake Havasu City's role is we would convene and we would be a partner. We have a role in ensuring that it's clean and beautiful and safe. We'll continue to do that, and then we'll continue to work with our partners at the Partnership for Economic Development and our business community as they continue to diversify the businesses that are located in the downtown area. And as you can see, it's turning into more of an entertainment hub. More restaurants and eateries and pubs have been opening up, and it's more of a walkable downtown. And that is through the vision that we've had over all of these years, and you're starting to see that come into fruition. And with the continued work, we'll continue to see more of that.
Dave Johnson, would you like the question repeated?
I would. I'm a little
You
lost.
would, of course you would. What improvements would you like to see in the downtown district, and what role should the city play in driving those improvements?
Okay, this is incredibly simple. You know, the first thing is downtown's dirty. I have an office down there. We've had an office down there 7 or 8 years now. The sidewalks have never been pressure washed even once. The trees are not trimmed. I invite every single person to drive up McCulloch. You will see the same story. The trees tell the story of the city. The top part of the trees are all skimmed. After 8 years, you'll see 8 years of growth right beneath that. So what would I like to see downtown? I'd like to see it cleaned up. I'd like to see the trees trimmed. I can't even believe we're talking about the albatross of a park as that being a success, but moving forward, I would like to see the homeless and the mentally ill get the services that they need and not be living downtown or sleeping downtown in the middle of the afternoon. And as far as everything else, I mean, I'd like to see our big, beautiful arch sign that says, "Welcome to downtown." I went to the CIP budget. I was shocked and appalled that it was still on there for $750,000 when Ryan Persnago redesigned it and submitted a bid for $480,000. That is not a lot of money to add that sign. And we have a $300 million budget.
Okay, question 5, this one back for Dave Johnson. Local employers continue to identify workforce availability and housing affordability as major challenges. What role should the city play in addressing these issues, and what solutions would you prioritize as mayor?
Okay, so we don't have a workforce challenge. We have a skilled labor challenge, and we have a job challenge. There's no industry here. In less than 4 months of campaigning, I've had 3 businesses reach out already. I've had a production and custom cabinet manufacturer. Don't think kitchen cabinets, think big cabinets, like industrial cabinets. Huge outfit. They say, "Dave, you know, what can we do to move our business to Lake Havasu?" I said, "I don't know. I'm not the PED. You know, I know that we can do land incentives, we can do tax incentives." The affordable housing thing, you cannot solve affordable housing by making things cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. In any industry in the world, if you take a product, whether it's these glasses or a razor or a house, and you continue to try to make it cheaper, you end up with junk. What you have to do is capitalism, bring the industry here, and raise the wage cap. Stop making the have-nots not affordable. Take the have-nots and bring them up. We're in a capitalist country. This is not that difficult.
Local employers continue to identify workforce availability and housing affordability as major challenges. What role should the city play in addressing these issues, and what solutions would you prioritize as mayor?
Thank you. Yeah, workforce readiness is a challenge for our business community, but it is not an issue that we cannot solve. Working with partners such as Arizona at Work, we're able to pivot, and when industry is looking to move to Lake Havasu City, we can ensure that they have a skilled workforce that comes along. Also working with our partners at Mojave College. Mojave College has a long history of pivoting when we have new industry moving here and creating programs that allow the workforce to be trained and developed to meet that need for any industry that's going to locate here. And then some of the things that Lake Havasu City is on the forefront of doing right now in our public safety sector is creating apprenticeships. We've started at the high school in the last couple of years, and now we are moving on into the college, where it allows us to have ready workforce through these apprenticeship programs on a public safety standpoint, and now we are also starting to do it with our public works teams as well. So we'll work as a partner, we'll be a convener, and we'll be at the table to help solve some of these challenges when it comes to workforce. And with housing, we'll work on additional supply, and as we have additional supply, hopefully we are able to stabilize pricing.
Okay, question number 6, 60 seconds to answer. How should Lake Havasu attract new industries and diversify the local economy beyond tourism? Mayor Kalshi, you're up first.
Yeah, thank you. Creating opportunities for businesses to want to relocate to Lake Havasu City, or even create opportunities for businesses to build from Lake Havasu City. Some of that work is already being done with Nomadic. That is the co-working location in the downtown area. It is an incubator space that allows businesses to enter into it at entry levels and then build their business and create opportunities to have jobs and other opportunities for employers. That is just one avenue that we can ensure that we have new industries in Lake Havasu City. Having a stable government that is available and accessible to folks that are interested to want to relocate here. And then also on our attraction standpoint. We go out and we try to attract new businesses and new industries that would be sustainable in our community. Sustainable meaning with the resources, the natural resources that they would need, and workforce that we have available, and the regional area that we have. So putting all of those together, and then finally working in partnership with the region. And we do that through our Tri-City Council with Bullhead City, Kingman, and Lake Havasu City.
Dave Johnson.
Repeat it one more time. A little lost there.
How should Lake Havasu attract new industries and diversify the local economy beyond tourism?
So the answer is simple. We all live here. What new industries have come to town in the last 8 years? What big businesses have come to town? What skilled labor jobs have come to town? It starts by simply reaching out, or them reaching out to you. Again, in 4 months of campaigning, I've had an additive manufacturer call me, I've had a cabinet company call me, and I had one of the world's largest infrastructure fastener companies call me. You want to know where they found out about all that? Literally on YouTube from our meet and greets on Wednesday night. If I could get that kind of result from a YouTube thing, what are we doing with a PED that's spent $500,000? It's insane, right? So use that $500,000 for air service, like I said. As far as the rest, you got to give them incentives. If you want big companies to come here, we have land out at the airport that we can give them. We can give them tax breaks. If you guys want veterinarians, has anybody thought to call a veterinary school and say, hey, look, we can offset your rent for the first year to get you started? This is not rocket science again. This is just nothing's being done.
Okay, this one starts with Dave Johnson. What? A little louder. What partnerships between local and state government could improve economic development for the city? Partnerships between local and state government. What opportunities are there between local and state government?
Well, I mean, local and state government, that's an interesting question. So state government, I don't think is going to have much impact on what businesses we bring to Lake Havasu. You might be able to get some grant money depending on the type of business it is. For example, if we did like a water conservation, a turf type company where they're doing water conservation, we have water problems, you can argue for a grant of that nature. But realistically, I don't think we need a partnership with the state to attract industry here. I think that somebody needs to go call and talk to people and bring them here and make the case for Lake Havasu, which again is not happening. There's plenty of shows like the ICSC up in Vegas. That is where Grace, Grace for the Bullhead, that's where they got their giant medical facilities. All they did was attend that show. I promise you, as mayor, I'll be at that show every year. You can ask my wife. I love trade shows, and nobody gets by my booth without hearing what I got to say.
what partnerships between local and state governments could improve economic development for the city.
Yeah, thank you. There's lots of partnerships that we can have at the state level, working with our local municipality. We talk about incentives to relocate businesses. It's not allowed for in state law. So we have to work with the state of Arizona, the Arizona Commerce Authority, to bring those partners together when there are incentives that are available. Also working with the Arizona Office of Tourism to help with our co-op marketing programs that we have throughout our community. We can leverage additional state dollars to enhance our marketing dollars that we're using at the local level. Arizona at Work is another great partnership to ensure workforce development and workforce readiness. And then also, again, working with our community colleges in the state appropriations to ensure that the community colleges have the right resources so that they can pivot and create job readiness programs for our residents in Lake Havasu City.
Question number 8, and it looks like we're running right on time. What methods would you take to ensure state policies continue to protect our land and lakeshore access while encouraging responsible growth? Mayor Kalshigi, you go first, 60 seconds.
Thank you. So shoreline preservation is so important to Lake Havasu City and to all of our residents. We need to do all that we can do to protect the shoreline for generations to come. The City Council actually will be taking up this issue in the coming meeting, looking for 75 feet of shoreline access by right, so everyone understands exactly what that is going into it, that we would have that for generations to come. When it comes to working with land use and land development, we want to make sure that we have managed responsible growth within our community. We're going to do that using the citizen-led general plan. The City Council just adopted that at our last meeting. It will go in front of our citizens for ratification in the general election in November. But this is the overarching land use designations to ensure that the uses of our land are what our citizens want to see as we develop Lake Havasu City. So again, we'll use our citizen-led general plan, and we will continue to ensure that we have shoreline preservation for generations to come.
You know the drill. What methods would you take to ensure state policies continue to protect our land and lakeshore access while encouraging responsible growth? Dave Johnson.
Okay, so responsible growth, that is a political term, right? And nobody ever defines it. They say, well, what growth is responsible and what growth is not responsible. I'm going to define it for you right now. You stick to the general plan. The general plan was voted by you. Every time a developer comes into this town right now, they go to the city council and they say, well, we just want to rezone. We want to change that general plan. And every single time it happens, our town is being sold down the river. From the Island Project to Trinity, which all of these things have in common. Apex, which is the largest backer of the campaign here, is the developer doing that. So stop selling it down the river. You stick to the general plan. If you're going to modify it, you take it out to the citizens for a vote. It has to be massively beneficial to this town to change things.
All right, at this time, our little breakdown here says we're going to take a short break. It's about a 5-minute commercial break for radio, and we will get the candidates up here for City Council, 7 candidates.
Can we get one more round of applause for our mayor?
Yes. All right. Great updates, by the way, and if you have a chance to get down to the Performing Arts Center at the high school, we are here on KNTR Talk.
Okay, while we're in this commercial break, can I ask that the candidate tables be scooped back like 2 or 3 feet so that we don't echo in the monitor, feedback in the monitor? Thank you, guys. All right, hang on. Let me turn
There you are. 1, 2, 1, 2. No feedback?
No. Okay, blue.
Check, check, check.
And black.
Check 1, 2.
Perfect, thank you. We have 3 minutes till we're back live.
I don't know if that's what people can see or if it must be cut off. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. 'Cause otherwise, I'm gonna be. I can help you.
Just over 2 minutes.
It's turned second.
Roughly 2 minutes till we're back live. 2 minutes.
It should be. Okay, I'm gonna try that because